Hey, good morning everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about this long overdue topic that I've been inspired to talk about, which is angel numbers. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how angel numbers appear in my life and their significance to me, so that perhaps you've been seeing angel numbers in your recent times and you just want to make some sense of it. So I hope that my sharing kind of makes some sense to you so that you can better appreciate the angel numbers that show up in your life. Everyone's experience is going to be a little bit different, but first and foremost, let's talk about what are angel numbers. So angel numbers are the repeat numbers, but they can also be in sequence. So just to give you an example, like yesterday morning during the school run, I saw a very odd combination. There was a car that was on a tow truck. The number was 7171. The tow truck's number was 5555. And in front of the tow truck, there was a BMW X5, white, just like mine, 555. I was like, what on earth? So if that is not a synchronicity, I don't know what is. So the appearance of angel numbers in our life basically indicates synchronicity above anything else. Synchronicity. What is synchronicity? Synchronicity is like a divine timing. A divine timing is sometimes these coincidences happen. But in my previous video, I've also mentioned that coincidences are simply God working in anonymous. That's what coincidences are. Divine timing, synchronicity. So it's kind of like I also mentioned in a previous video, like something like ping pong is a sport that's actually quite difficult to pick up because the ball is so small. And then sometimes just to be able to see it and to get the timing right, to get a rally going back and forth, is already challenging enough for a lot of people. And it's so hard to conceive that the pros are hitting it at all these weird angles and coming up with crazy spins. So to be able to do that, to be able to, let's say, aim for the corner or halfway on the table, or to even hit like a line of cups on the table as you see some people do on TikTok, right? When you have done that, you don't consider how hard that is. But that really is the power of the mind. And at the same time, we cannot hit a certain shot that we want unless it came to us in the angle that we perceived. But then again, sometimes strategy in a game like chess is something that you try to see a few steps ahead. So when you win at chess as well, isn't it also a synchronicity? Because it took a series of coincidences to happen. All right, so how does angel numbers show up in my life? Once again, if any of you are a bit unfamiliar about what the angel numbers are, you can just go on to Google and basically put in the angel number and just hit enter and basically see what that comes up with. So for example, this morning what I did was that I was thinking of yesterday's incident and I did like 7171 angel numbers meaning, or like 555 angel numbers meaning. The 7171 is particularly interesting because it means that everything's basically complete. The only thing that's stopping you right now, limiting you right now, is your belief. So when I read that, I was like, is this like a guilt trip to make me make this video to reaffirm my belief in these synchronicities, in how God has been showing up in my life, to also reinforce my own belief? Because when we speak something, we reaffirm. And that could be, that flashback from yesterday morning could be an indication for me to reaffirm something. Now, the other thing also that I want to mention for you is that the most common way that angel numbers show up for me, let's say when I'm caught up in traffic, a lot of people who know me well will know that I tend to be quite an aggressive driver on the roads. And when I'm caught up in a jam, I am usually getting very hot-headed. And seeing a sudden appearance of an angel number, or sometimes it could be a pair. Like I said, what is the chance of two motorcycles, like going one from the right, one from the left? One with 333, another one with 999. What is the chance of that happening? And mind you, in most countries in the world, repeat number plates cost extra money to bid for. So that's something that the, people riding motorcycles usually are less likely to invest the extra money on these numbers, especially if they're delivery riders too. So these things, when I see them, I'm like, I immediately calm down because I know that God is looking out for me, and God is sending me a sign, and often as well, it kind of, okay, when the motorcycles show me, when motorcycles show up, it is a reminder to me that God is present in my life, and suddenly I'm reminded, okay, let's take it as a sign, all right, that, maybe while waiting for the traffic to move, I could be using my mental resources to think about something else in my life. Maybe I might dial, a work mate about certain issue. I could just talk about it on my earpiece in the meantime while waiting for traffic to move, so that I make better constructive use of my time. Or it could be, like a time for me to put on a nice manifestation music, a binaural music, and think about some visualizations, right? But a very often thing that happens too is that there will be a car with an angel number show up, and that car, like almost every single time, if I follow that vehicle, I will find a way that cuts me out of the traffic. It could sometimes be, an indication that this is the correct lane to take. My first gut feel is that, my first reaction is, who is this prick to cut me down? 1111. All right, I'm gonna follow him. And true enough, somehow, like there could be, whatever obstruction ahead, but this is always the best lane to take. So that's really, really strange and bizarre. Now, I want to talk about where and when do I see angel numbers. This should have been covered in the earlier part of this video, but I guess it's not too late, right? So, 1111, like a lot of people, I see this on my watch when I look at it, 1111. And where do I often see the other numbers? Like, I have been seeing most of the other numbers on car number plates, motorcycle number plates, or it could be my trip meter on my car dashboard. Now, the interesting thing I want to bring up is that some of you might be wondering, how do you see them? Do I specifically look at the screen and wait for the number to go from 110 to 111? More often than not, like I would just tend to randomly look at something and say, oh wow. And when I think of the beauty of that occurrence, before I can even take a snapshot of it, the number changes. And this means to say that it only showed up for us to notice and remind us of God's presence in our life. And that's the sole purpose. It's not going to be there lingering for us to take a picture. In fact, yesterday, I want to share with you that I actually saw like everything from 000 through to 1111. Going through the triple ones, twos, threes, fours, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, the whole shebang, 000 as well. Yesterday, the whole thing. I was like, whoa. And so I knew today I had to make this video. But apart from that, so how did I see all these numbers? Like yesterday, I was like, All right, I saw every single number, but the only one left is the 999. And then at that point of time, I was at this intersection, and there was this car dealership. I never noticed this before, but when I just stopped to look ahead, because the traffic was moving a bit slow, so rather than looking out for my opportunity to turn, I looked ahead and I was like, holy crap, the service center's number had a 999 in it. I was like, whoa, that's like the whole shebang of numbers, of angel numbers. So often just enough for me to notice, because once I saw that, it was my opportunity to turn right. All right, and the other times I see it, like yesterday, there was another instance. Okay, I was just exiting my house, and what was interesting was how I saw my trip meter on top and below. The last 3 digits was like 422, and the bottom was like 224. It's like a mirror of each other. And then on the way back from home, somehow like it just smoothed out. Like after all my activities, and I was like seeing 222 and 444. No, I think I got flipped around. Yeah, it was like 224, 422. Yeah, when I got back, it was like 222 and 444. How did it magically become that on the trip meter? Well, because the tank was fairly full, and the car calculates the range depending on how far you can drive. So therefore the numbers could change, but isn't that a synchronicity? I mean, the mirror image was synchronous enough, but on the way back when it came out 222, 444, I was like, whoa. So that was like beautiful. Yeah, so this is how it shows up in my life, and it kind of like reminds me that, you know, I'm not alone in these challenges that I have from day to day. God is looking out for me, and if you're here watching this video, wanting to, you know, find out what all these angel numbers mean, how do they show up? How have they changed a person's life? How do they change my life? I hope you've gotten some ideas from this video. Of course, every single angel number has their own meaning. You can go to Google for that. But one last parting note is that it's basically synchronicity, and just randomly, I'm thinking of the term serendipity as well. So you know, just and at this moment when I finish a video, there has been a phone call right here that I have to take because I've been waiting for this work call for quite some time. So peace out, everyone. Subscribe, hit the bell notifications button. Bye. I gotta take this